Almost every Vietnamese English teacher are good at grammar and vocabulary, not pronunciation, not fluency.
So you think there is a need for more foreign teachers?
Yes. Most foreign teachers will feel that teaching their salary is higher than the average income of Vietnamese. If their qualification, if their competence, their ability of English is not good enough, so of course they cannot require the same high salary. Okay. And with your fluency, with your with your correct pronunciation, you deserve to receive that high money. And me too.
Okay.
Without English, you cannot apply for a job.
Okay. Alright guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Qualifications. Now, you've seen me interview a whole lot of ESL teachers. Those you haven't seen is talking to a Vietnamese English teacher. Now, the fact is that before any ESL teacher takes up a job in a school, there is always an English teacher. In fact, they do more. ESL teachers only do most of them pronunciation. That's mostly what they do. Grammar and other aspects of English, they don't tackle it. These ones are done by Vietnamese English teachers. So today, I decided to speak to a great English teacher I know. Welcome, my brother.
Teacher Philemon.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. And what's your full name?
My full name is Đặng Thế Doanh, and I think it's hard for foreigners to pronounce my name. Đặng Thế Doanh. Anyway, we can call me Johnny. Johnny is better.
And one great thing is they all have English names. They try to have an English name to make it easier for us.
It's not, but it's not for showing off. It's for like for you to be easier to call my name. Doanh, can I say Doanh?
Doanh.
Okay, my name is Doanh.
So that's it. That's it with him. I mean, he's a great teacher, I said. So now let's start this way. In Vietnam, how is the educational sector like? Now, when you go to other parts of the world, we go to school Monday to Fridays, and Saturday, Sundays, we don't go to school. Maybe if you go, it's just for extra classes. How is the Vietnamese educational structure like?
Let me tell you, the time when students come to school depends on a lot of factors, from their age to their passion to study. I would say that for primary school, the children only go to school from Monday to Friday. They can choose the whole morning or the whole afternoon.
Okay.
However, for secondary school, they will go to school from Monday to Saturday. Both, but it depends on their need. Okay. It will depend on whether their parents have enough money to pay for extra classes in the school. And for high school, they mostly go to school every day, even on Sunday.
Oh.
If because there are often some talented competition between students within the area, they have to study extra for the competition, competition, like for talented students. And they have to study for those who are talented, they study more than a lot of students.
Okay, so if I'm understanding, the timing of a school depends on the community and the parent and the management.
Exactly.
So it's not the same. For instance, if you go to Hanoi, if you go to Ho Chi Minh, schools, they run different shifts.
I would say that the official schedule for throughout Vietnam is the same.
Okay.
Official.
So what is the official?
The official for primary school, they will go to school from Monday to Friday.
Okay.
For secondary,
Morning and afternoons.
it depends on each region.
Okay.
But the whole morning or the whole afternoon.
And the morning, if you are studying the morning start from 7:15
7.
or 7. Okay, 7
to 11. 11.
Then they break and then they go and have a sleep.
Exactly.
And have a nap, and then come in the afternoon, which is 2 to 4 to 5.
5.
To 5. Okay. So a school can decide to cancel the afternoon or cancel the morning.
Yes.
Because I'm asking because when it during the winter, there was times classes had to be broke. They broke the classes in the early morning. Sometimes they push it forward. Sometimes they bring it backwards, and so I really don't get how the educational sector works in Vietnam.
And let me explain you.
Okay.
In the summer, the lesson will start earlier.
Okay.
Than the winter. It's obvious, right?
Because winter is so cold.
Yes, it's cold and the weather becomes colder and it's darker. So they need to leave to let students come home.
Okay.
So that is the case.
Okay.
It depends on seasons.
All right. I mean that's good.
But let me confirm. The official schedule released by the government is that primary school, they will go to school from Monday to Friday.
Okay.
The whole morning or the whole afternoon.
Okay.
And for secondary and high school, they will go to school from Monday to Saturday.
Wow.
The whole morning and afternoon.
Okay. All right. So I think that is very clear. Now, one thing I also want to find out is about the uniform of students.
Uniform.
Yeah, I don't know, because sometimes you want to make a video like, oh no, there's no uniform today. I'm like, and there are times like they are all uniform. There are times they're not in uniform. Is it the government that gives them the uniform, or they buy? How does that pan out?
I would say that for public school, the school you are talking to by government is public school, right?
Yes,
public school. In public school, they have to wear uniform.
Okay.
And they have to wear uniform. That is a fact. But how they design the uniform is controlled by the school itself.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to wear a uniform, but the design, the fashion of the uniform can be dependable.
But it's the same. I see all of them. They all have white and then
it's not the same.
red something tied at the neck.
The tie, the red scarf, right?
Yes, the red scarf.
The red scarf. They from primary, secondary, and high school. They have to wear red scarf. It's the same, but like there's some some pattern.
Oh,
it will be different. If
maybe
you
have to check that. But in general, I think it's almost the same because it's all white and with a red. With a red scarf.
The red scarf is the same, but there's one thing that I wonder. If you take focus, there are some small patterns.
Maybe I have to check. I will have to check the small patterns, but to confirm what you are saying.
At least the logo, and the color, maybe blue, maybe green, maybe yellow.
Okay.
You see?
Oh, okay. I get that. Oh, that's the changes. All right, I see. So now, how is education in Vietnam? Is it fully financed by the government, or do they pay? How is it?
Let me tell you. It's quite complicated. If you study in public school, the tuition fee is cheap.
Okay.
It's cheap.
Okay.
But it's not like it's funded by government. It's cheap.
Okay.
But because Vietnam is a country which has been gone over war, and a lot of children are the children of like warrior, and they can be supported by government for tuition fee.
Okay.
You see.
So I want to find out on an average, let's just not the exact, but around how much will the primary student pay?
Primary?
Yes.
No, it's very cheap, but let me equalize to dollars so that you can understand. The whole semester, the whole term is 5 months.
Okay. 5
months, and 1 year two terms, right?
Yes.
And the tuition fee for one term is around 3 million VND. Let me 3 millions, maybe more than $100.
Okay.
3 million. 3 million VND.
Yeah, 3 million VND is around
more than 100. 100.
Yes, more than 100. Yes, more than yes.
Yeah.
A little bit to $200.
Yeah. The tuition fee for primary students is the cheapest.
For the whole
term.
Oh, for the whole 5 months.
Yeah, for the whole term.
Wow.
And it's very cheap. And secondary school is also cheap, but it's a little higher. But it's still cheap. And even for high school, still cheap, but it's a little bit higher.
So if the parent of the student refuse to pay, what happens to that particular kid?
Refuse?
Yes, like if the parent cannot pay the fee for the ward for the kid.
But actually, if in case they cannot pay the fee, it is likely that they are in the poor family. If they register that they are in the poor family, the family in need, they will be funded by government.
Oh.
But you need to do the procedures. You need to give them documents to clarify, to prove that you are poor, and you will be funded by government.
Oh, so those who are from very poor family are funded by government.
Exactly.
In Vietnam.
Yeah, but of course there will be standards for poor family, and they have to prove that they are poor.
Okay.
And they can be funded.
Wow. Well, that's nice to know. That's nice. So now, so today we're going to learn a lot about, Vietnam. I haven't gotten this opportunity, and one thing about you I must say is, your English is so audible. My God, you speak very well.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you speak very well.
Thank you.
I've worked with a number of Vietnamese, and I should admit that you are different.
Yeah.
You are different. Okay, now let's come to you. So, how long have you been teaching?
Let me think. I would say 2 years.
2 years. So let's say for someone to qualify to teach in Vietnam, you need a college degree. You need a college degree. What qualification do you need to teach in Vietnam?
To teach.
What qualification?
From a point, I am not. I am not from a I would say pedagogical, pedagogical school, pedagogical university. I am from a foreign school. I study English, and then I study a certificate of pedagogy. I study a certificate of teaching, and then I am qualified. But normally, the best choice is that you will graduate from a teaching school, a school and a university which is specialized in teaching. That is the best way.
Now let's come to English. If you want to teach English in Vietnam, what qualification do you need to hold to be able to teach English in Vietnam?
To teach English, you need a bachelor, of course, a bachelor degree. The list standard, the bachelor degree, and then a certificate of teaching skill. If you teach primary school, if you teach secondary school, if you teach high school, you need a certificate to each school.
I get you. Okay, that's great. So
each level.
How come? I don't know if this question, if you are not comfortable in answering the question, you can decide not to answer. How come a number of people don't speak English in Vietnam?
It's quite hard for me to count.
It's hard.
Maybe I can tell you the rate, the proportion.
Okay, so this, yes.
The proportion for the old. The proportion may be 80 or 90 because they are the old. But for young learners, they are good. They are good now. They are becoming very good. Some students are very talented.
Of course, yes.
I would say the young generation are good.
And that is because there is an influx of a lot of foreign teachers now, and so students are really learning English. Students are really, the smaller kids can now speak very well. But my question is, how come? I don't know, because I'm being careful not to get into administrative stuff of Vietnam. I don't want to get into it. That's why I'm being a bit careful in answering my questions. So that means that previously Vietnam, you didn't study English, right? Previously.
Exactly. During the wartime.
Okay.
Wartime, because we tended to study Russian.
Okay.
Russian and French.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
but these days, I would say it's hard to say the exact period of time. Maybe 10
I mean,
years,
it doesn't
maybe 10
matter.
years.
Feel free. Yes, that's okay.
Maybe 10 years. They tend to study English. I would say maybe 50%, maybe higher for young generation.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, the standard of applying for a job in a company now is they can get TOEIC, you know, TOEIC or IELTS,
Yes.
4.0 or 4.5. It means that they can at least understand basic conversations. So I would say the standard of young generation is higher.
Okay.
And
so that is the policy now in Vietnam, right?
policy. It's not a policy.
But is a general something.
Yeah, they're coming popular. It's not a policy, but they are coming popular. If
Okay.
with our English, you cannot apply for a job.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
the case that is developed.
Even in Vietnam.
Yes.
Because I think in Vietnam you can live here without speaking English and you are good to go.
Let me clarify it.
Okay.
Maybe I just work in the English environment, and I am my point may be subjective. And but for like manual, like the manual, the work using the physical health, they don't require
Okay.
English.
Like construction, like anything that uses.
They don't require.
Okay.
But like teaching, teaching for me, like or tourism, IT. Especially IT, they need English. Tourism, they need English.
Okay.
That is some major sector in economy, they require English.
Okay.
But I would say that my point is very subjective.
Because you are an English teacher.
Yeah.
You are an English teacher.
I make contact with a lot of foreigners, so I think English is important. But in some parts of Vietnam, English is still not it's not an indispensable part. It's hard to say.
I see, I get that. Now, making a point that you interact with a lot of foreign teachers. So, what countries have you had an encounter with? I mean, foreign teachers in Vietnam. What kind of countries? Like, I'm from Ghana, so you've had an encounter with me. Other foreign teachers you've had an encounter with. Which schools are they from? Or which countries are they from?
I have known some teachers from Morocco, Philippines,
Philippines.
the Philippines, Ghana,
Yes, Ghana,
South Africa, Jonas Frank and Mohammed
and Russia.
Russia, exactly, Russia. Mongolia,
yes, that's Ghana. Ghana is from
exactly,
Mongolia.
Ghana. And let me tell you, Mohammed is from Africa.
Yes, Africa is one. So in Africa, we have all these countries in Africa. These countries are different countries in Africa. Some coming from Eastern Africa, Western Africa, Central Africa. Like I'm from the Western Africa. So someone from Mongolia, have never been to Mongolia before. I don't know Mongolia.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, most Vietnamese think Africa is one.
Yeah.
They call us Chofi.
Is Africa is a country or
Africa is a continent?
Continent, but in Africa is there Africa?
No.
No country named Africa, right?
No. So for instance, we have the Asian continent, we have Chinese, we have Vietnamese. When it comes to Africa Africa is divided into.
Have you ever met Mohammed? Where is he from?
I don't know. I don't know the Muhammad you're talking about.
So
yeah, I would have.
Okay, so forget him.
I don't know him.
Okay.
So, yeah. So still on my education. So, unfortunately, most Vietnamese think Africa is one. And why do Vietnamese know Angola? Anytime you are teaching like Angola, and sometimes it becomes an insult. It's like an insult. They want to tell you that you are from Angola. Why? What is this thing with Angolians, whatever?
Angola. I actually maybe because of my lack of knowledge, I don't know. I cannot answer the question. You don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Because I feel with Angola, it's like
Angola.
I don't know, but it looks like when they want to insult you, like some of my students, when they are angry and they want to insult me, they can tell me Angola. I don't want to. I'm like, no, I'm not from Angola. So I don't care what you want to tell me. I'm like, no, Angola. So I'm like, Why? There seems to be a certain myth with Angolians.
I don't know. Maybe just at the time you met some people. They are following some trend. Trend.
No, I'm not sure. I think there is something with Angola. I'll find out. Don't
Angola.
worry. If you don't know, I'll find out. So my next question is that, out of all these foreign teachers, Ghana, Jonas is from South Africa. We just mentioned a country. So, which of these countries stand out for you in terms of teaching? Don't think because I'm here you want to mention.
Stand out, but
like who is your best teacher? Like, which is your best country? Because I've been to some centers. They are like, we love Ghanaians. We love the others say, we love Filipinos. Others say that, we love Cameroonians. We love Nigerians.
But let me tell you, I would say I normally estimate a teacher based on two criteria.
Okay.
English and teaching skill.
Okay.
I would say your English is very good. English is good, and about teaching skill, it's quite different. It's quite different in the educational system in Vietnam. For you are foreign teachers, and you try to improve students' ability to pronounce, and the main focus of your lesson is speaking, and the atmosphere of the classroom of the students is quite energetic. But in general they are good. In general they are good. They are good at making games. They can create a very energetic atmosphere for students to enjoy, at least enjoy, and they can make students feel like they are confident enough to speak out.
You're talking of the general foreign teachers, right?
The general. Okay. And I think it's quite an easy task.
You think it's easy?
Just my
what
thinking.
You think? Yes, feel free.
I think they mostly they can make students feel like they can make students love them by helping them, by trying to ask questions so that students can answer, and that is the case that they can help students improve their speaking skills and the level of confidence. I don't discuss about their level of English.
All right, that's fine. Have you at a point thought of the influx of foreign teachers in Vietnam? Have you at a point thought about that? Like, have you have you at a point thought about that? Like, why are we having a lot of foreign teachers in Vietnam when we have English teachers in here? Because you are an English teacher. Have you at a point thought about that? Has it ever occurred to you before? Why there are teachers from Ghana, teachers from Nigeria, teachers from Mongolia, teachers from, when we have English teachers in Vietnam?
Of course, yes, of course. I used to think about because I teach about IELTS, and also I would say that studying with foreign teachers can indeed improve their confidence, the confidence and the pronunciation. I would say, and I would say that the pronunciation of almost every I would say the general teacher, English teacher in Vietnam is not that good. The pronunciation.
You mean Vietnamese English teachers?
Exactly.
You think that their pronunciation is not good?
Yes, from my point of view. For some advances, for some teachers on top, I don't discuss, I don't mention them. But for in general, for like in some countryside, they cannot find a very qualified teacher to, at least they need a very good, very official and standard pronunciation. However, almost every Vietnamese English teacher are good at grammar and vocabulary, not pronunciation, not fluency. Not fluency, not listening.
So you think that's the reason why there are a number of, there is the need. So you think there is the need for more foreign teachers?
Yes.
And let's look at, Because I see you teach, and grammar you are good, pronunciation you are good. I'm like, wow, this is a good teacher. Do you think that the foreign teachers are treated above the treated above, are given a preferential treatment, as in salary, as in remuneration? Do you think, or have you heard?
No, let me tell you, my qualification, my level of English, I am paid well. You are paid well too. It's based on your qualification. Okay. And if their qualification, if their competence, their ability of English is not good enough, so of course they cannot require the same high salary. Okay. And with your fluency, with your official, with your correct pronunciation, you deserved to receive that high money. And me too. I would say that my I am not trying to show off, but my salary compared to the general Vietnamese English teachers are higher.
Okay.
Maybe I don't mention the exact number, but it's higher. Okay. Because it is equal to my ability.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And is it because you teach in the centers? Because most of the people, even the English teachers in the public schools,
public school.
Yes, I've had an encounter with some of them, and they mostly complain of their salary.
That is the fact. That is the fact. That is the complaint. I would say that the salary of Vietnamese teachers in public school is very, very low, unbelievably low, very low. I would tell you the number. You say the basic salary is 4 million. You say 4 million is maybe $200 per month. Per month. And if they want to earn more, they have to teach extra class, and so I would say the income for the whole month maybe around more than 10 to 15. But I'm talking about the basic, the basic standard salary of a Vietnamese English teacher in public school, very, very low. I don't work in public school, but if I work in public school, my salary is still low. Because I can achieve that high salary because I'm working for a center, and they know that my ability is good enough to receive that money. Yeah, that is equal for me. But if I work in public school, that is the case.
Wow. So I think you have worked with a number of foreign teachers, and you know their ability. If somebody is a foreign teacher and is watching this interview and wants to come and teach in Vietnam, what do you recommend that the person works on? Yes, or what advice do you have for such a person?
Mostly, they will apply for a job in a company. And exactly, company is an English center. Actually, we normally call English center, but actually they are a company, right? They are
yes, they are companies.
Mostly, they can come to apply for a job in an English center. They still need foreign teachers, and their salary is good. It's good enough to actually. I would say that most foreign teachers will feel that their salary is higher than living standard in most area in Vietnam.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Just believe me, if you come to Vietnam and do teaching, their salary is higher than the average income of Vietnamese.
Why is it like that?
I don't know, but
is it normal?
No, I would say that
is it okay?
It's a fact.
Okay, it's a fact.
You will receive higher level, the higher level. In teaching, I just talking about teaching. I'm not sure about other branch, other sector. I'm talking about teaching. And firstly, the first choice is the English center. And if you are lucky enough, you can work in a private school. And private school, your salary may be a little bit higher, but coming along with that is the stress. Public school is a system, very big system, and you need to work for a system. It's different from an English center. English center is a little bit smaller than a private school. So my recommendation, my first recommendation is that you can work for an English center, and if you are familiar with the transportation, familiar with every aspects of life in Vietnam, you can apply for a job in a private school.
Okay.
And I have known a foreign teacher. He is working for a private school, and his salary is 50 million now. Private school, I'm talking about private school.
Wow.
And for English center, it might be around 1,000
That's
to
a lot. That's a lot. So recently, the Ministry of Education in Vietnam, I mean, learning of English used to be what do I say? It used to be compulsory to sit for the Vietnamese high school exams, right? But now it's been relaxed. Now it's no more compulsory. It's you can choose literature and other options. Do you know that?
It's quite complicated.
Okay.
If primary student wants to come to secondary, they still need to take exams in literature, maths, and English.
Oh.
From secondary to high school, they still need English.
Okay.
But from high school to university, they don't have to take English exams. But let me tell you, to graduate, they still need to take English exam. But to enter university,
Oh, okay.
they don't need to get that high score, but they still need to take the English exam to graduate.
Okay.
So I would say that I confirm English, literature, and maths are still 3 subjects that they need to take to graduate.
But I heard the English has now been tied with literature. So instead of English, you can take literature or history or something.
That is the case when it will change. Believe me, it will change.
Okay.
When I was in secondary school, when I get into high school, I don't have to take English. The 2 compulsory subjects are literature and maths.
Okay.
And each year they will change one optional subjects, and sometimes it's English, sometimes it's history, sometimes geography.
Oh, okay.
It depends. It does not mean you don't have to take English exam.
Okay.
But I say that I confirm that English is very important. It's still important.
And let me also say that with the prior to the announcement of that or after the announcement of that, do you think it has affected centers, students studying in? Do you think that announcement affected it, or do you think that it did?
Announcement
of now.
Of course, it will affect their students' thinking, but there are a lot of sources of information, and universities still require IELTS certificate. IELTS is English, right?
Yes.
IELTS require IELTS to get into their university.
Okay.
And even of these informations, they still take English on top.
Okay.
It's very important.
I see. That's a very revealing. You've really shared with us a lot of, stuff. Finally, if you are a foreign teacher in Vietnam, apart from teaching English, have you heard about any other thing that you can do? Any other job that you can do? I'm asking because a lot of teachers will ask me, can I do any other job in Vietnam? For me, I've seen none, but I want to hear from you if maybe there are others.
I believe that you can earn your best at what you are the best. So without any skills, I would say that your English in Vietnam are on top. So you should take your English as your priority, your strength, so that you can earn the highest with teaching.
Okay.
Because English is your best, right? Without IT skill, without like other skills, of course if you choose another sector, of course you cannot earn that much.
In Vietnam,
I have never seen
You have never seen any foreign teacher
do other things. Like they are maybe they be the boss. They are doing in the company IT skill, but they
no, apart from IT skills, somebody coming to open a job. Have you seen any foreigner do anything apart from English?
I say no.
Never. You've never.
I just know that they are English teacher.
Okay.
Maybe from kids from primary or higher, but they are all teachers.
Okay. Okay.
And I also of course I have also met some foreigners, but like they are very rich. They have their own company in their country, and they come to Vietnam.
Yeah,
too.
that one is different. That one you can even go to Europe, Canada, and set up your company. Everyone wants that, but coming to look for a job and you hope to find anything apart from English, that's not possible, right?
And some foreigners like to become a YouTuber, TikToker. But I would say it would be a risk, very risky. It would be very risky if you choose that pattern.
You can just come on a tour. I mean, just look at the places and make videos and leave. But to stay here, I mean, that's not worth it. So finally, what shouldn't a foreign teacher or a foreigner in Vietnam do? I'm a foreigner here. What are some of the things you think I shouldn't think of, I shouldn't do, which are prohibited in Vietnam?
Shouldn't, of course.
Shouldn't.
Of course, you shouldn't break the law, right? It's a very hard question for me. I need you to clarify.
Okay. I just want some general stuff like as a foreign teacher. Okay, yeah, but I think
maybe you shouldn't eat. Maybe you shouldn't eat. You shouldn't drink. It's easier for me to answer. So can you clarify your question to be more specific?
So I just wanted to mention what are some, because I hear in Vietnam, for instance, you cannot speak against their leaders. It's an abomination to come to Vietnam, and like other countries, you can go to Canada and you can talk. But in Vietnam, you can't talk against their leaders. That's one thing I know. Are there any other ones that I need to know? Okay, that's a difficult one. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I mean, you are such a great teacher. You speak so well. You speak so well.
Thank you for that.
And I wish you well.